KMET1490am.com. The station now features AccuWeather. AccuWeather offers weekend and extended forecasts along with the latest radar map and current conditions. AccuWeather on KMET1490am.com. Logged in every morning for your daily forecast.
That's right. It's the morning show. You're on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. Good to have you with us on today's show. We got lots to talk about. What's going on in your weekend? We were kind of discussing things behind the scenes, and we always want to know what you're doing out there. I know I got to check out some cool stuff over the weekend, including been busy finishing up my book. So some shameless promotion here for that. It is a butterfly story, and it's a good story to read to the kids. So far, we've gotten some good feedback from some of you in social media, and evidently some of you actually read the beginning pages, just the first 3 pages of the book, which is a really heartfelt story, which I'm proud of and I'm excited about because it's actually my first book. And so we're looking at getting it published before the weekends. And when that happens, then of course you'll be able to check it out and get your own copy of it. And then I know there'll probably be more versions of it because then I'm going to need an artist and I'm going to need some other things to kind of go along the way. But I like sharing my process and way of doing it because, as I say often to our very own Jesse Sanchez, I always say, get your story written and do it now. That way, when you get it done, then you can get it up and running because he's got stories in his head for days, right, Jesse?
Oh yes. Whether or not they transition into paper or whatever, I don't know. I actually bought a journal so I can just start writing things in a little book. But I also write down little notes on my phone too. So that's one way to start, and hopefully it'll transfer onto paper.
Well, and I say this, okay? I love drawing, right? I've always loved drawing ever since I was a kid. But when I was a kid, I honestly thought, like, how am I going to make money at it? I don't know what age I thought that, but I thought, what age, like, how am I going to make money? And I thought, there's no way to make money with what I wanted to do. I just wanted to draw, right? And I thought only the professionals could do it. And I always thought, I'm not that good, right? Like, sometimes we can be our worst critic, and sometimes we are very, and I'll say this very, very normal-like, we're our own worst critic, and we kind of don't see what the potential is eventually because we don't even bother to start the first time. Does that make sense? We just stop ourselves, right? So knowing myself, I'd be like, I wouldn't read it. You know what I mean? If I wrote a book when I was a kid, because I did write a couple like stories, but it was more comic book. But then I read it, and I'm like, I think I missed some things. So I kind of like let it go. But I've always thought about it ever since I was like, I think I wrote one when I was like 13, 14, 15, and 16. And I remember showing it later to someone, and I still was kind of like, I don't even know why I like wrote it. You know what I mean? But now I'm thinking like, maybe I can get that one done, right? So I've already written a script. It's done. And it's the first of 3. Potential to be like 8. And that's a film. But I've kind of been in this writing mode, and I know we interview so many authors and so many people, and we often ask them, how did they get started, or how did they keep going? And I'm kind of like, let me try it out. So this story, a butterfly story, is still kind of a working story. It can still be changed. There's an ending. It's heartfelt, but it kind of makes people go, huh. So I'm kind of thinking, do I change it? Do I have a different story written? Do I have different versions of the story? I don't know. So I think the first people that are going to get the actual full copy are probably going to be able to say, hey, I recommend this, that, and the other. And then I'll say, okay, good idea. And then I'm thinking maybe since it's a children's story for like 4, 5, 6, 7, and maybe even 8-year-olds to like, okay, draw your caterpillar, because it's a caterpillar who eventually becomes a butterfly, but doesn't know what he is when he is. Because, I mean, who tells a caterpillar what he is when he's born? Right, Jesse?
Right. And you know what? I think, let's see, what was it? I saw this really cool caterpillar. I think it was a caterpillar. To be honest, I thought it was a caterpillar. I don't even know what the difference is. But, I thought it would turn into a butterfly. It was not a butterfly. It was a gigantic moth.
Oh,
but it was,
shoot.
But it was very beautiful because it had like these long tails, and it was very colorful.
Well, and it's still a version of a caterpillar. It just turns into a moth. I had one. I remember I had the same thing on my way home on the floor. I saw this little green thing, and I'm like, what is that? And I picked it up, and they're so cute when you pick them up. They're so tiny, right? And then I'm like, and I had one because we were taught as, I want to say maybe first graders, even kindergartners, I don't remember. They have this box. It's really cool. And I should include it with like purchase, but it's like a box and it has monarch butterflies, but it's for the kids, right? And so it comes with a bunch of caterpillars, kind of like Ant Farm. Do you remember Ant Farm back in the day?
Oh yes, yes, yes. God, those were a mistake for me, especially they would escape. Oh my God.
Oh, mine didn't escape. I think somebody knocked it over by accident, and I was like, and they were crushed. I was like, earthquake, oh no. Yeah, it was terrible, Jesse. It was terrible. But, neither here nor there. My point is this. The butterflies, they come in a box, and then they kind of like come encased in that, and then you eventually let them out of the box, but you do as like a classroom. So I know the teacher did. I don't know how much she paid for it. Do you remember that? Did you guys do that?
Yes, yes. You know what? I do remember that back when I was in like first or second grade and something like that. I do remember it. Yes, I do.
Yeah, they let it as a classroom project, huh? And it was like everybody would be like, because you'd see the process. They'd get the leaves, and then they'd eat them, and then they would form the little chrysalis, right? And depending, I don't know how many came in a box. I don't really remember that. I just remember us kind of all going outside, and then them opening it, and we're all like, yay! And we let them fly out, right? And it was fun. It was like, it was just neat. And I think it, depending on, where you are, of course, in your climate, I don't know what that is, butterflies in a box or something like that. But anyway, the story is kind of about a little caterpillar that becomes a butterfly. But there's a story to it of, things that I think would be good for kids and parents to talk about, including how to stay away from somebody who wants to do you harm. And a couple of little lessons about that, including for parents. So that's what it's about. It'll be ready pretty soon. And so if you haven't already, go check out the video. It kind of gave you the way it's supposed to be read. There's a little rhyme to it. It's kind of Dr. Seuss. I don't know. That's not the way to say it. A Dr. Seuss-esque. A Dr. Seuss-esque version of it, right? A butterfly story written by me. And I just put my first name and my middle name. I said, leave the last name off. So it's just by Aaron Michael, but that's me. So in case people wonder and they ask you, wait, who's Aaron Michael? That's me. So, but that, I think kids are going to enjoy it. I just think that the story is going to develop as it goes, and I think kids can get into the rhyme. I've already had parents get into the rhyme, and they kind of get like, this is interesting. And then when they say it, they kind of go all the way, and then they come out with their own story. It's very cute. So I'm excited. I would love to read this in schools, to be honest. And I think it's a good one to kind of get your kid kind of in that mode of rhyming and how to rhyme and how to just kind of get a story told. So a butterfly story coming soon, and I'm working on it. And I'm actually looking at this thing. Maybe you guys can help me, because I know social media, you guys are so smart out there. Big shout out to those tuning in. Stephanie Reed, thank you for tuning in. Says, hello, happy editing this glorious, gloomy, awesomest, busy day ahead for today. There was a child game that had butterflies paper like flying out of this game, as I remember. Didn't know that. Let's see, Viviana's tuning in. Thank you. A big shout out to her for helping me write the story. She actually helped me with reading the first draft. And then I said, okay. So I kind of heard it. And then she goes, yeah, it kind of has like a tune. It's like in my head now. And the very next day she still had it. And I was like, and she was still thinking about like, I don't know how many days later, but I was like, well, that's good. So my point is this. So there's a pen, and I'm looking at a couple. I kind of came across it. And I thought, all right, let me put it this way. Kids have what they call talking pens. Do you know what they are, Jesse?
Like a pen that could talk? I have no idea. Is that real?
Yeah, so what it is okay, there's some pens that are very smart. Evidently, they're almost like a little scanner. And they like when you roll over the wording, it kind of does the voice for you, right? Which is good, especially if like you have a different language, right? Like let's say you don't know Chinese, right? Or let's say you're like me. You should know Spanish, but you don't know Spanish, right? So it's able to actually... Go ahead, Jesse.
No, I thought you were messing with me. I did not even think this was a real thing.
No, it's a real thing.
I did not know that. I'm looking at it right now. It's called like a talking pen. There's quite different versions of it, but...
Yeah. Some are a little like, kid-like, right? but there's ones that are programmable, and so you kind of put it like, okay, I'll give you an example. The one that I just saw recently, it was really good. You know, I'm going to go and promote it. Why not? Let's see. Here it is. I think it is. No, that's not it. That's not it either. Oh man, the girl had it just right. I'll look for it again and try to find it. But it had the ability to actually. I'm really trying to find it. Okay, well, anyway, it had the ability to do what I thought was cool, and you could record, let's say, grandma, grandpa's voice on it using a sticker, right? But you put the stickers on the book that you like. So let's say your kid's like 3 years old, right? And you like reading to your child, but you're going to be away, right? So you leave it for your kid, and then you leave the kid maybe with, like, you know, the responsible parent, right? Or maybe even the babysitter, right? Choose a responsible babysitter, obviously. And then they want to hear your voice, but you put the pen over the sticker, but the sticker is programmable with the pen. So it reads the page that it's on. So the kid knows, touch the sticker, and it reads with your voice. So I think it's great because they used to have back in the day, and Jesse and I remember this, and maybe you do too, little records, talking records, right? Which would like kind of teach you, and you would listen to that while you would read. But, you know, it was always going, then it would go ding, and then it would mean turn the page, right? And then it would go ding, you know, but CDs are kind of not a thing anymore. I wish they were. So you can't really do a CD because nobody has a CD player anymore, right? They have MP3s, but it's like, yeah, but, and then I thought, okay, you could do a QR code in the back and link it to your YouTube account. But then I thought, what about people that stumble upon it and then they just kind of like do that and they don't buy the book, right? So I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that because I got to make money at it, right? And it's going to be published, so I don't want anybody to kind of, you know, do something weird about it. Yeah, Discover Talking Pen. I'm glad you put that there. That's one of them. That's a good one too, by the way. That's the one I actually came across. The other one is called, oh, here it is. I'm just going to go and promote it. It's a little expensive, and I'm like, oh, I just want something a little less. But it works, okay? So let me see without messing up our thing. It's called Chameleon Reader, okay? And it's a little pricey, I'm not going to lie. So I'm kind of like, how can I get it better? But it's this little pen. I'm going to show you. And again, for adults, you're thinking, nah, it's not really for me. But I would like to put this kind of into people's minds that I think it would be for people if they just see the ability to learn a new language, okay? So here it is. Let's see. Chameleon Reader, okay? And the pen is kind of like basic. I don't know how to describe it. It's definitely for a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 5-year-old, right? And so what you do is you get these little tiny stickers, and the stickers you program, if you want to read the whole full story, like from the beginning to the end, or if you want to do each page, and then you just put the stickers in place, right? But then what's really cool is you can have father, mother, even brother or sister, or grandma and grandpa if, you know, they're alive, and then you can assign it to the book. So you have them read it using the pen, so they record their voice in the pen, and then when they're gone or they're away, guess what? Little, you know, Michael or little Johnny or little Julie or little Joanne can actually, guess what? Hear the voice with the story, right? So it could be any story. That's what I like about it. It doesn't have to be the story, right? But I think it's the best thing. Now this comes in a little pricey. I'm not gonna lie, but it comes like what they call Play and Learn Chameleon Reader. Any 4 languages per sticker. Okay, so it's good for raising multilingual children. It's compatible with all your books. Doesn't matter because it can always be changed. It says add your voice to books and help your child discover the joy of reading. It's the best tool. Now, what I say is this, and I really am looking for a branded one so that I could kind of like rebrand it for my own stories for the Caterpillar that could. But I think it would be good for adults who are learning to read a new language, right? Maybe not that pen, because no guy or girl would want that pen looking like that, right? I mean, I can't see you, Jesse, doing that. I'd be like, I want to learn Chinese. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, got you. With the little, it's a little basic. It has 3 buttons, one that turns it on and off, and volume up and volume down.
Yeah, Yeah, and then programmable. So you got to have somebody that kind of reads it ahead of time for you. But like if you have a tutor and you're like, hey, can you read that again? Now I know other ones would be like, well, just put it into your iPhone or your Android and record it like that. And I say, yeah, that works, but you do page per page per page, because then you can kind of like get it for yourself each time, and you can hear it. You go, okay, and then read it. You know what I mean? And there's some books that they do like all 3 languages. I like that. And so you do it like in English, then you do it in Spanish, and then you do it in like whatever one, India or Indian, and then or Chinese or Swahili or Russian or whatever you want to do, right? Ukrainian, right? You could do any one of those, and then you could learn each one differently, right? So that's good for kids from an early age if you want them to be more multilingual than not. So I think this software is really good, and this pen's really good. I'm just, again, discovering it because I was thinking, okay, how can you do it like fun? And then when I saw this, because I want to record audiobook with maybe a lady's voice reading it. And so if you have an idea of someone that you think is a good reader, let me know, because I would definitely like to kind of do that for this story. But it's got to be one that kids want to hear. You know what I mean? It's got to be a fun voice. So, but even accents are important, and that's what this particular pen does, because it's an individual voice. And then when they hear grandma or grandpa do it, isn't that like neat? Like if you were a kid again, wouldn't you want to hear maybe grandpa, read to you the story? And then what if that day comes and he's no longer around? Wouldn't that be cool as a keepsake?
Honestly, it actually would be, because to be honest, I can't really remember what my grandfather sounds like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away like nearly a decade ago, and I'm really trying to remember what his voice sounds like, but it's really hard. So if I had something like this, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, I think it's a keepsake for long term, and as long as it's basic, it doesn't break down easy. It's easy to keep, right? And then it just includes batteries. Now this one, I am gonna say, as again, I think the correct price point would be like $39, and then it would make sense. Okay, so this particular Chameleon Reader, which I am gonna share, you can actually go to Chameleon Reader. You could just find it right there. That one is actually, and don't like jump at it. You know what I mean, like in a bad way. But it teaches kids a lot, so it is an investment. But it is actually, I hate to say it, Jesse. It's 3 easy payments of $56.63. How's that make you feel?
Wait, wait, what?
I knew it. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but look, but that's why I think they need an affordable one. That's why I kind of want to brand another one, because I've seen these pens, all different types of pens, and they manufacture them looking differently. But I've seen several, and the one that you showed is a little bit more affordable. That one's like $89, right? Or $79. I think they even have it on sale for, I think, discovertalkingpen.com. That's a different one. That was the first one I found. I go, oh, best thing since sliced bread. And the lady like reading it is like, I love it. And I'm like, oh wow. So I think there's a way to do it. And if you could find like the manufacturer and then brand it and do it for like $39 and then brand it with books, it's even better, right? But nobody has $150 for a talkie pen when you don't see the value of it. So I think just price it good, price it affordable, and then people will pick it up as soon as you say, hey, this is how it works, and my kid's smarter for it, learning a new language, or listening to grandma and grandpa forever, right? I think that's good. So that's the story. I'm sticking to it. What do you think, Jesse?
No, that'd be cool. I actually like that. I'm assuming these are new products, so the longer these products are out,
yeah,
the more time they'll be able to, reinvent them, shrink them down, make them more affordable for everyday use.
That's what I think, 100%. Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, Chameleon Reader, go check it out if you can, and if you can afford it, it's a good investment for your child to learn another language. I say start them off young, all right? Start them off at 3, 4, 5, and 6, okay? All right, people, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
When you want the best performance for your vehicle, think only of Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, right off the I-10 and 60 freeways. Check out Scott's complete list of performance products on their website at hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers can recommend ways for your car or truck to get gas mileage and cut down on emissions. Need your car or truck to pass smog only? Go to Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. Find out all of your questions on vehicle performance by logging on to hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. hdrinfo.com.
It's the Rockefellers Music Festival, May 21st and 22nd at the Dysart Equestrian Center in Banning, with headliners Pat Travers, Boom Boom,
crowd's gonna like
The Zappa Band, Crazy Town,
Come, my lady, come, my lady.
and Cottonmouth Kings. Plus, more than 21 rock bands playing tributes to Van Halen, Ozzy Osbourne, Leonard Skinner, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, and more. RV camping, food, vendors, and a great time for all. Let's go live outside at the Rockefeller's Music Festival. Tickets at rockefellas.live.
Join Yvette Walker every Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. on KMET ABC News Radio, 1490 AM, FM 98.1, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show is dedicated to highlighting successful businesses and the individuals behind them. Yvette interviews the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 o'clock p.m.
Mattress Brothers Overstock Mattress Sale. Just $3.99 for a foam-encased queen pillow top set. $3.99. Check out Mattress Brothers $3.99 Overstock Sale. Mattress Brothers at 120 West Redlands Boulevard in Redlands. The $3.99 Overstock Sale is on now. $3.99 for a foam-encased queen pillow top set. Mattress Brothers also has locations in Hemet, Riverside, and Palm Desert. The $3.99 queen pillow top sale on now.
Here's to your health with Joshua Lane. Ideas you can use to be healthy and stay healthy. The current thinking about beauty, fitness, and longevity. Every Tuesday and Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Wellness talk you can use. Here's to your health with Joshua Lane on KMET, naturally.
Welcome back, as it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate you. And let's see, social media chat room. Stephanie Marine has a suggestion there. It says there is an app to learning new language called Duolingo. Oh, that's awesome. I actually did one a while back. I want to say like 3 years ago, and I started down it, and then I didn't stick with it. So I'm like, so you know, it is what it is. I do remember though. And I will say this, and I think, again, I'm really big on this pen. I really want, like, somebody to give us the information on how to get to the manufacturer or brand one. But I remember learning Chinese, and honestly, I was reading the Bible with Chinese, right? And I was learning a little Bible, like, wordings with that. And so what I did was kind of do it the old-fashioned way, say, what does that mean? But they have a phonetic version of that. So they have a phonetic Bible, which means, like, as long as you know phonetics, then you could learn it slowly. So if you know, like... and they're the Chinese characters that you'd see, but you don't have to learn the Chinese characters. You just learn the, like, wo. You know, you see W-O, right? And that's wo. And, or ni, N-I, right? So you go ni. And ni is technically, let's see, wo is me, ni is you. And then ta is other, right? Or like them. So you just do that, and then it kind of does it phonetically. Kind of like when people... say how to pronounce my name, they do it phonetically, right? Have you seen that, Jesse? Like when they have it sometimes on profiles, and certain people are like, I don't like my name mispronounced, so they put in the phonetic way of saying it. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah, I see that all the time. Like if I was to tell people like if my name how it's spelled or whatever, I'd be the easiest way would be Hey, H-E-Y, and then Zeus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or Jesse, J-E-S, and then dash S-E-E, Jesse. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no, maybe that wouldn't be. Or Jesse. I don't know. There's got to be a way to do it, but you know what I mean. You have an easy name, actually, right? Jesse or Jesus, yeah. Which is actually it's Jesus technically. He just goes by Jesse. That's kind of his. What would you call that? That would be your.
Honestly, it's easier and.
You're like, I'm not the Messiah, man. Don't blame me for all world's troubles. I'm trying to save the world as we go.
Honestly, yeah, it just gets easier because I remember one time I worked at a video store, and what movie came out? Oh, The Passion of the Christ.
Oh,
remember that? Oh my God. So this, because I have a name badge and my name was Jesus, so I was just like. She came up to me and she was like, oh my God, I love this movie, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, have you seen it yet? Oh my God, it's so amazing. I was like, yeah, no, not my style. I really don't like the movie. And then she's like, but you're named after him, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but that don't mean nothing.
She's like...
And she got really offended. I'm just sort of like... If I wanted to watch some guy get beat, I'll read the book. Okay, I don't want to see it.
Got it. No, I get it. I gotcha. My mom was right there. I go, Mom, you got to see it. She's like, no, I don't want to see it. I'm like, Mom, you don't I appreciate it. I go, not until you see it. And then even I was kind of like, oh, do I want to see it? Do I not? And then I saw it and I go, whoa, I have an appreciation. I did. I'm not going to lie. And I was like, interesting, because people don't remember or know, like, when they beat him on the back. That's the most bloodiest part. It was with shards, so it was made with like bone. Sometimes some people say chicken bone at the ends of the whip, so they think it was just a it wasn't. It was meant to, and they were jagged, sharp points kind of attached to the end of the whip, and they were like sprawled out, so when it went into your back, it grabbed onto it and then so it ripped into your skin. So it wasn't a 30 lashes. It was 30 like full on beatings. And that's where Mel kind of went like, in a way, he's like, no, I need people to understand that's exactly what happened. And it did. When you do the research, you go, whoa, that was not an easy whip. That's not a normal, It's, which sometimes they do on certain movies. I'm like, it was more painful than that. And in Passion of the Christ, I actually understood that. I was like, yep, it's as graphic as it is. And that's exactly what happened to him. So it's actually done really well. I do recommend it. But again, back to your name, I don't, again, I joke on it every now and then with his name. He knows. He's like, darn it. But people joke on my name, Aaron. I'm like, dude, that's not how you spell it. Or pronounce it, rather. That's not how you pronounce it. But it's funny. I get it. But seriously, there you go. All right. I'm going to do a shout out to Ellie G over there in Atlanta, Georgia. Says, have a wonderful day, all. Ellie G, thank you very much. We appreciate that. All right. We're going to take a quick little break, pay some bills. We'll be back with more right after these messages, including... a sad passing. A musical wonder and one of sorts. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to talk about this and at the same time say, you know what, we appreciate you no matter who you are when you have a gift like she had. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Does shame, guilt, and martyrdom play a part in holding ourselves back from self-love, self-confidence, self-empowerment? Ambika Waters is back. With over 3 million books sold, she offers her 28th, Releasing Shame, Guilt, and Martyrdom. Her body of work includes training programs held in Europe and North America, where she connects her participants to the realms of angels, the importance of chakras, the healing power of color and sound. Ambika Waters, the journey that she has been on, the renowned teacher, artist, and healer, has brought a lifetime of experience to her newest book, Releasing Shame, Guilt, and Martyrdom. How to reframe the past, release your future. The guide to expanding our capacity for unlimited goodness. AmbikaWaters.com. Amazon.com. Love, love, love.
Your pharmacy and mobility solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
The staff and families at Custom Care Solutions Caregivers take this time out to recognize and salute the Palm Desert men and women in uniform, standing tall for our political and economic freedoms around the world. Let's always remember them in our thoughts and prayers. Their efforts abroad and our support have kept America strong. That message was courtesy of your good friends at Custom Care Solutions Caregivers, 42201 Beacon Hill in Palm Desert. They're always working to keep our community moving in a positive direction.
Hey, Mark's here. We want people should know about the new Italian radio show on KMET. Like my Uncle Vinny used to say, Gumbas non stunad.
SID. There is no such words in Italian.
Forget about it. Tell them about the show.
The Italian Radio Show, presented by West Coast Italian Radio.
Mondays at 4 p.m. on KMET 1490, or stream us live 24/7 from our website at WCIR.biz.
Make sure to tune in.
You don't want that we should have to tell you twice.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, and we're happy to have you. Don't forget to download our app. It's free, KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate you when you listen in on the audio portion of our show. Also, we have a lot of great programming 24/7 on our station, so always learn from it. We got some great programming. I know Jesse knows of a few coming up a little later. What's up, Jesse?
Programming or news? Programming, we got Veterans Radio. They always have great stories about, just past military things, especially when you start hearing like World War II vets or other people start talking. I'm like, good Lord, I can't even imagine just being dropped in there. I'd be like, have you ever seen somebody run so fast? Yeah, that'll be me. No.
Exactly.
But after that, we got the Entertainment Zone with Paul Lane. I love that guy. He's so great.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, we always have Dave Ramsey, which I like making fun of people who make six figures and say that they're poor. Yeah.
I hear that. Yep. Now, I will say this. We have a lot of great programming, and we have a lot of friends that actually say, hey, by the way, how can I get into radio? So if you ever have a question, you just let me know, and I'll give you the information, and then you can take advantage of that. Because some people I know I've had as friends, and they never really ask me, but I know they kind of want to, so I say, look, if you want to, just let me know, and then I'll get you that information. There is a process. They don't accept just anyone, but there is a process. So it's as simple as having a mic, and then, of course, maybe even having a computer, having fast internet, and then if you want a camera, you go next level, and then you kind of amplify that for good, especially with our ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM branding, and then you do everything you need to do with something you maybe always want to do. Maybe you have a podcast, maybe you have a talk show that you want to do, or maybe you have a show you're already doing, and you want to go next level. We could do that for you. All right, in other news, speaking of next level, boy, oh boy, I was a little upset to see this, not going to lie. I was like, wow, are you kidding me? And according to this, Naomi Judd, who on Saturday, April 30th, everyone's mourning her loss, including her daughters. And, looking at this, I'm not going to lie, I didn't know a lot about her. I just knew her family. I remember watching episodes of her family, and I honestly didn't know for the longest time, Jesse. I don't know if you knew. Again, Ashley Judd was a Judd, right? Or is a Judd, I should say. And I didn't know because all I knew was Winona and Naomi Judd as singers, right? So I didn't know for the longest time until all of a sudden they came out on Oprah. And I'm like, are you kidding me? They're all related? So I was like, huh. And then later I saw the results. I go, oh, okay. But I didn't know that. Did you know that, Jesse?
So you didn't know that Ashley Judd and the Judds were related?
I didn't. Because I knew, okay, because you got to know my perspective, okay? I know you're about to laugh right now. I get it. I only watch country because my dad watched country, okay? Now, when I watch country, I watched, like, what was it? TNN, right? Or CMT, I think is the new one, Country Music Television, right? And I saw the Judds, okay? Then I saw Ashley Judd, but I saw her in movies. But I didn't put the last name together at all. So I was, like, one of those few that was, like, when I saw them all together, I'm like, huh? And then they said, there was some stuff that they had. But I know we talked about Ashley Judd recently, how she hurt herself really bad. Well, I know that they repaired things since then, because everybody knows about the drama between the Judds way back when, right? But all that, I believe, was fixed towards the end. So at least they were all talking, everybody was happy, right? But in the middle, and I remember that Oprah special, and that one must have been like 20, 30 years ago. And I was like, wow, okay, I didn't know all that, right? But it was a big thing, and people were listening, and then I remember the mother was like, why are you putting me on the spot in front of everyone, And I was like, I feel bad for her, but, there were some unresolved issues, and I think everybody grows up, they kind of understand things later in life, but I hope everything was kind of, in a way, patched up in that way. But having said that, what a beautiful family, again, and what awesome talent that Winona and, honestly, her mother had, Naomi. I don't know if Ashley ever sang. I would imagine she did, but again, she went the actress route, right? So that's kind of the thing. Now, the question of how she died and why she died is kind of interesting. I'm not really getting everything just yet, but we'll find out as we go. I know some people are kind of getting that information. They're talking about depression and the thoughts of suicide. I'm not sure that's exactly what happened, but evidently she did detail her experience to help others struggling with depression and thoughts of suicide in her book River of Time: My Descent into Depression, How I Emerged with Hope, which she called a survivor's manual about how to survive depression and anxiety. She added the book is about hope. So I'm hoping that's not the situation. But having said that, all I know right now is that, again, the family, of course, are kind of taking it as, what are we doing, right? And of course, Ashley and her mom and everyone that is close to the situation, of course, is giving their tribute to her, and of course the Judd family, right? Because at the end of the day, they're sisters with the mom, and if you look at the photos of them performing and video of them performing, all you know is that they're all basically, just normal, you know what I mean? And with great talent, I will say. And with that talent, they traveled and they did everything. Very, very rarely, I don't know if you could think of any on your hand, Jesse, of duos that are mother-daughter duos like Naomi and Winona,
I know no one. They are the only people that I can recall off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So, and I've known that they were a family for quite a while. I mean, there's one movie that Ashley Judd made that will always be like one of my top favorites. And that, I think Tommy Lee Jones is in there too. Double Jeopardy. Have you seen that one?
Oh, yeah. Good movie. Yeah. Oh, she's good in that one. I think I saw it like 3 times.
I've seen it quite a bit. Yeah, she kicks butt in that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah. No, she's very smart in that one. And again, it's kind of like, what do you do when you want to get that guy back for doing what he did to kind of like put you away, right? But she couldn't get at the end because of Double Jeopardy, right? Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. You can't be tried twice for the same crime, right?
Right. So yeah, the whole thing was she was being tried for the death of her husband. She's like, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she calls her child, and then on the phone's like, oh, hi, Daddy. And she's like, wait, what? So that starts her entire journey to be like, oh, I know he's alive, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. No, you got it right. And I'm looking at this other article again, and I so hope she didn't end her life, in a bad way. I really hope, because some of the information is coming in about mental illness. So I'm hoping she didn't do anything like that. In a other interview that she had recently, Naomi Judd and Winona Judd chatted with Rachel Smith at the Country Music Awards for 2022, and they talked about the healing power of music, especially country music, and how it does exactly that. So I'm hoping it is a situation that we've seen a little too common, where people talk about suicide, but then they end up doing it, and then you go, what was that for? So I always say, be careful when people are having those feelings. You have to be aware of it, and you have to be on them 100% and take it seriously. So if that's the situation, as I see some of the news headlines coming in, that's the thing that you always got to take in consideration. Never say, and I've heard the blanket statement. I've heard this once. Maybe they just want attention, or maybe, they just want, they say it, but, So I always say, yeah, but if they say it, that's a call for help. It doesn't matter, right? And I get like in breakups, somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna, this or that, if you don't get back with me. And I've heard that. I've heard that a couple of times, not gonna lie. And it makes you go, whoa, but then, it's a thing where it's like, you still gotta take it seriously, but you don't I don't know how to explain it. Like, you don't want to get a guy back like that, you know what I mean? Or you don't want to get a girl like that, you know what I mean? I'm gonna do this or that, and it'd be like, dude, chill. You know what I mean? There is life after whatever you're going through. There are other people. But it's hard when you're going through a situation. So I'm hoping it's not that. But that's kind of what the news is kind of saying. But there's no cause of death yet. So I think we'll find out information about that. So that's kind of the sad part. But having said that, I can only imagine, again, the daughters are not, dealing with this very well. And I think when you look at the pictures and you look at all the happiness that they brought, I think that at the very least is what people should remember more than anything about this family. Because you look at that family and you look at the mother and you see how strong she is to raise these daughters in media and in just, how do I say, like, it's a tough business, Jesse. It's one of those things that, very few people can survive long term. Her and her daughter survived long term, and then they had to do everything in public, kind of like that Oprah appearance that I remember. All the drama was kind of spewed out there. So every family has it. Some people are aware of it, some people are not, and some people are public about it, some people talk about it. And I think at the end of it, at least Ashley and her mom reunited in a good way, because at the end of it, I don't think her mom ever wanted her to be like drawn away from the family. Does that make sense? Especially when things happened really bad later. So I think at the end of the day, they patched things up, and I think, at least with her life, she brought a lot of people happiness, and a lot of people need to speak about this, because during times where you're kind of suffering quietly, you kind of don't acknowledge the obvious, which is sometimes people are hurting, right? And when they're hurting, sometimes they do the unimaginable. And sometimes it happens right beneath our noses. So I think we'll find out more information about this as it comes along. But again, taken soon, yes. Again, Naomi Judd at 76. It's not a fun time for people that, of course, want to think good things. But it is a time of remembrance of her and all the, honestly, the hope that she gave other people, right? So I think if anything, it's a discussion. It's a discussion that needs to be had. It's a discussion that we all need to remember, our friends, our family, and all the people that are out there that may be going through something silently without even telling you. They may have a smile on their face, but then you kind of delve a little deeper, and then you find out there's a little bit more beneath that smile, right? So always keep your family in your prayers, keep them in your love, and always check in on them and make sure they do not go, well, how do I say it? Jesse, you check in on your mom regularly, right?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I talk to her at least once or a couple times a week.
Exactly. So that's my point. And I talk to my mom almost daily. I go, Mom, seriously. I leave. She goes, I'm going to miss you. I go, are you kidding me? I've been here like 6 days all the week, so again, there's balance. But again, my point is this, again, be careful out there, check in on your loved ones and make sure that they're good. Always say hi to them, and in the meantime, tell them Jesse and Aaron said hi. And if you want a shout out for your family member, we're more than happy to do so. Okay, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Tried shipping a package lately? It's amazing how difficult and time-consuming it can be. Packing, envelopes, boxes, second-day ground, next-day air, it's all enough to give you a headache. Next time, do yourself a favor, go with the pros at the UPS store in Beaumont. They'll pack it right and let you know all your shipping options. You can also take care of everyday tasks like copies, faxing, notary services, and live scan fingerprinting. And while you're there, pay your Edison, gas company, and Verizon bills. Open extended hours Monday through Saturday. The UPS store in Beaumont, located in the Oak Valley Plaza at 1440 Beaumont Avenue. Call 951-769-5956. That's 951-769-5956. Online at the upsstorelocal.com/5027 or Google 5027.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, TruckWorks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, Just cruising around town, TruckWorks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at TruckWorks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
Join West Coast Business Review with Daryl McCants each Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock p.m. Daryl focuses on successful businesses from California's southern border to Canada, including the great border states of Arizona and Nevada. Every week, Daryl provides in-depth discussions and interviews with prominent leaders and innovators that make all of our lives better and more productive. West Coast Business Review with Daryl McCants, Wednesdays at 4 o'clock p.m. right here on Smart Talk Radio.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Also, Alexa, don't forget, all you have to do is say, Alexa, I want to listen to KMET 1490 AM. And then she'll say, what did you say? Say it again and again and again. Alexa can be a little problematic, I have to admit, if Alexa doesn't understand you. Although I'm still waiting for a new set of voices on that. Remember the Samuel L. Jackson one that they had a couple years back? Do you remember that? I wanted to get that.
Oh, yes, I do. I do remember that.
I think there was a G and a rated R version of that, right?
Yeah, I wish it was more interactive, but yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was funny. And then I got the Waze. Remember Waze? And then it had Cookie Monster. And Cookie Monster was like, do you remember that?
Yes, I tried Waze. I did not get a chance to try the Cookie Monster one.
Oh, it was so fun.
When it was offering the Batman and the Riddler one.
Oh.
Now, I tried the Riddler. That was funny. Now, I tried the Batman one. Oh, my God. I swear to God, I nearly jumped and crashed because I'm driving and all I hear is, turn left here. I'm like, what? Who said that? And I'm like, oh, my God.
I love that, the accentuated version of Batman.
I'm like, whoa, calm down. He's like, turn left here. I'm like, calm down. I understand.
Oh, man. Okay, you know what? Now I know how to get your attention every now and then, right? With the Batman voice.
It just came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. I'm like, don't yell at me.
That's funny. All right. Yeah, but there you go. Have fun with it, right? All right. Lots of news stories, lots of things going on. The question of the day, what's going on with you? We know a lot of things are happening. We know coronavirus is still around. Unfortunately, there are things that people are asking, especially when it comes to rent. How come the rent is jumping up so much? And in fact, this was a post, and I said this a while back. I said, you got to be careful because where you're at, you want to make sure you pay what you have, right? Meaning, be careful with some of the hikes, which some people are doing. This is a headline right here. Isn't this illegal? My rent just went up by $855. So I asked an expert, what's going on? Right, Jesse? I know. This is a person who wrote this. Says, I've lived in the same house for the last 4 years, and until a few weeks ago, I would have told you I have a great relationship with my landlord. But about 3 weeks ago, I opened up our new lease agreement to see that my landlord had increased rent by $855 a month for a month-to-month lease, or $605 a month for a 12-month lease. So I'm not feeling like we're actually that close anymore. I love that statement. It's like, whoa. I think that's a thing that's been happening as of late. Here's another one. It says, I live in Austin, Texas, one of those cities that's perpetually on those best places in the U.S. to live lists. For the past 20 years, Austin has been growing, but in the last 5 years, it's really boomed. Oracle moved its headquarters here, Elon Musk moved here, and has opened a Tesla factory here, and everyone from influencers like Joe Rogan to the skinny confidential's Lauren Everett Bostic have relocated here, okay? Another person says, and the cost of living has gone up, like a lot. Here's another one. In Austin, it says, rent in Austin increased 35% overall in the last year alone, the second highest in the country. The national average was 15% increase, making Austin a particularly expensive place to live. So here's my advice here, okay? If you're in a home and you have like decent rent, stay there, okay? Now, there is such a thing as rent control, but if you're not in a rent controlled place, I think there's a certain amount that they can increase, but there's a certain amount that they cannot increase. Now, are they trying to get their money back from all the ones that didn't pay? I say yes. That's what's happening. I think people are kind of going, well, hey, I need to pay back, monies. But I say this, take advantage of any programs that are out there, or maybe they didn't take advantage of any programs out there. I don't know, but this is going to create a problem for people that rent, and then people are going to want to move in with each other, and they're going to kind of consolidate, and people are going to be like, oh no, what do we do next, right? So I say this, just be aware of it, be careful of it, and then save your money, because these are the things that are happening, and a lot of people are like, what do I do next, okay? And people are really wondering about that. And then some are saying, just shoot, buy a house. And I say, you know what, spend your money wisely. But be careful about even that. I would say this, and a lot of people actually kind of agree on this. If you wait anywhere from 6 to 8 months, you're going to see at least prices on homes become a little less outrageous, okay? Because some of the prices are outrageous. But if you save your money and maybe you move in with a friend or a family member and just say, hey, can I pay for a room? They'll be like, yeah, I need help, right? And you just pay a little bit of money for that. You save yourself a little cash, and then you save your money for a house. Maybe it's in an affordable area. I will tell you right now, in LA, it is outrageous, okay? San Bernardino is a little better. Riverside is much better. The further east you go in California, the better. The further away you get away from the beach and the metropolitan area, the better it is for you. But numbers are high, okay? And there are vacancies. There are people moving out. There are people not paying back the money. Some people are, of course, taking advantage of the programs that are out there, but they ended taking applications for those as of, I believe, the end of March. Okay, we're now in May, and this is going to be a trickle effect that we're going to see in the next few months. I know some people have already talked about it. Some people need to talk about it. That's why I say federal needs to do more, because there's going to be a huge problem. Banks are going to repossess, and there's going to be foreclosures left, right, and center. Okay, so that's why I say there's an opportunity in about 8 months. If you save your money for like a year and a half, do that, get that, and then you can move forward. Okay, anyway, we're out of time. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone. To those still tuning in, I want to do a big shout out to Algenia, who says, just tuning in. We will never forget this young lady. I used to sing their songs at gatherings. Algenia, we appreciate you. I know you're in Atlanta, Georgia. I am thinking about visiting that area soon. I got to go there for business already in Texas. So I'm looking at these numbers and going, whoa, right? I know gas is less there in those areas. I know when I went last time to Texas, gas went down to $3.20. And I remember my friend who I'm doing business with there in Texas was like, I'm not paying $3.20. I need to get less. I'm like, I looked at him, and that was right before the big uptick. And I'm like, and I let him go to his other place. He said like 5 cents. So I'm like, but we drive like 3 miles, right? Maybe 2 miles. And I'm like, and he filled up, and I go, do you know gas where we're at is like $5.30? He's like, dang. I'm like, yeah, and you complain about like 5 cents when it comes to 3. That's called perspective, okay? So whatever you're paying or what you're not paying, remember, sometimes you have it better than others, okay? And I know people go, yeah, but you make more money out there. No, I wish I did, trust me. And this guy made a good hunking bit of change, okay? So I was kind of like, well, you know what? I get it. I get not paying top dollar. I get that. But I was just like, I felt like, you know how some of you feel like when it's really cold in your area, and we complain about like, I'll say like 60-degree weather, and you're like, it's -3. And I'm like, right. Perspective. So you gotta be patient with us. It was that moment I was like, are you kidding me? So there you go. That's what I'm going with. Let's see. Stephanie Reed says, I know on the East Coast we have a housing and apartment shortage over here. Yeah, I will say again, there are certain areas which are kind of like more affordable, and people are moving into certain areas that are more affordable. That's why I say LA is way overpriced. And if they kind of move it back to standard, then they can kind of fill their vacancies. But ones that kind of evict and then don't make like a plan for people that can pay down their debt slowly, have a problem with filling those places because they think, oh, everybody's going to move in. Not if you raise the price like as much as they're saying. It just doesn't happen. All right. Now, having said that, there's a lot of things in the world going on, and obviously war is here, shortages here, manufacturing is going to be weird, and even electronics are going to be weird. And here's why I say that. China is in a situation, okay? Beijing currently is in lockdown, okay? Now, Shanghai has already been in lockdown. Beijing went into lockdown just recently. Because Beijing went down into a lockdown, there's going to be problems with cost of living when it comes to electronics. Why? Beijing and other surrounding cities are a huge manufacturing hub of electronics that you probably have in your home. So, in the next 3 to 4 months, you're probably going to see a huge increase because there's going to be, you know how we had a problem with logistics and everything was like not getting off like the shorelines, and we're like, what are they doing still on? Like who figured that out wrong, right? Like who wasn't like getting the stuff into the stores because they were sitting there? It wasn't that they weren't there, but why were they just sitting there, right? Who was the one not unpacking them and getting them, like, you know, to the trucks to get them to the Walmarts or the Targets or the Costco's or any store that sells stuff, right? Because I know I was like, laptop, all right. But then I had to go with a laptop, and then it was a bad laptop, and then I paid almost $1,800, but then I returned it because the fan was weird, right? It was way loud, and my mom was like, no, it's too loud. I go, all right. But now I need a laptop. I can't have a laptop because now I got to pay other bills, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So my point is this. If you are in the, I don't know, situation where you need to buy something, get it sooner than later, okay? Because supply is going to start to dry up. When you have people literally staying home, like you do in China, you have to remember how many things we get from China, okay? A 3 to 4 week is a situation. If it's an 8-week situation, I guarantee everything's going to go up at least another 30%. All right, so think of your favorite, I don't know, television set, right? Maybe you've been wanting to buy one. I say go get it, all right? Just get it. Because within about 3 months, you're going to see it increase at least anywhere from 30 to 40%. All right? Get it now while it's hot, okay? Because right now you're not gonna get. I'm not gonna lie. We're down to a TV. I usually have a TV, and then my mom's TV went bye bye, literally poof, right? So we're like, oh boy, right? So now she's using my TV, and I'm like, all right, well, it's a good time to think about TV. But then I saw the situation in Beijing. I said, oh no, that's not good for us. And there's already ones predicting that situation of happening. How we're basically going to have an increase in cost of electronic items. Yeah, makes you appreciate China, huh? It makes you appreciate the workers of Beijing. So that's going to be a situation. Now, what else is going to be a situation is financials. If you have not done the math on your financials, do the math. Cost of living is up, meaning renting, housing, and other. Food is up because of shortage of certain stuff. Now, I am going to say this one because I know my mom is a huge eater of chicken, okay? And I saw this last week, and I thought, okay, I don't know if it's a big thing, but here it is, okay? So it's getting... Well, I won't. It's getting bad, okay? People who recently purchased Wayne Farms chicken breast fillets should check their fridges to ensure their supply isn't part of a massive recall. So there's massive recalls happening. Now, why are they happening? There's different reasons for that, okay? Obviously. This particular one is... well, let me show you first the chicken. Then you're going to be like, I want chicken. And again, I'm not saying all chicken's bad. Like, you know, I always tell my mom, you know, get the chicken when you can. But there it is. Oh, man, that looks so delicious, doesn't it? So, yeah, I want that. Yum, yum, yum. But the company announced a few days ago a recall of 30,000 pounds of ready-to-eat chicken breast fillet products that may have been undercooked. That's more than 50 tons of chicken. As a result, the company urges buyers not to serve any of the chicken from 2 specific lots. The recall action follows a customer complaint sent to Wayne Farms. According to the announcement to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection website, a buyer notified Wayne Farms that the ready-to-eat chicken breast fillet appeared to be undercooked. They produced the chicken breast fillets since March 1st and March 21st. Both lots are part of a recall, okay? And they're the all-natural, which I love these, I'm not going to lie. I haven't had these particular ones, I think, but I love it when they're grilled and pre-grilled. All-natural fire-grilled chicken breast with use by date 5/30/22, so that's May 30th. And our 9-pound cases contain 12 packages of 4-ounce all-natural fire-grilled chicken breast with use by June 19, 2022. February, March, April, May, June. Yeah. The FSIS announcement notes that the chicken breast products in the recall have the establishment number EST 2021-4. So if you get that particular Wayne Farms version, then what you should do is obviously turn it in and say, I don't think so, okay? Eating undercooked chicken can lead to food poisoning, as raw chicken can contain bacteria. Now, there is a way to get ahead of that, and it's just honestly cook it, right? But when you expect it like that, then technically you don't cook it, and then you kind of eat it like that, but basically it's more raw than cooked, which it should be cooked because it has the grilled little things. You're like, what did they do? Like put a stamp on it of grilled look. So do that, okay? And then there's other chicken that is being thrown away because of the avian flu, right? So I'm not sure that that's made it into the supply. I hope not. But again, just be aware of chicken. And if you have a situation, then be aware of it and then know that. And I'm going to just look up a couple other ones because I know this has been a thing. Yeah, here's another one. Public health alert issued for chicken products at Trader Joe's. That's the situation. Greg's recalls frozen chicken bags sold in Iceland over fears they may contain pieces of plastic. That's been a thing. And then here's one. Nationwide ground beef. This was a ground beef one. Recall after testing of E. coli, which is not good. It's called diarrhea for days. So there's that. And then here's another one. 8 hours ago, Tesco issues food recall on chocolate due to salmonella fears. Do not eat. So just be aware of these and then know, okay, worst case scenario, if I love chicken, be careful where you eat it at, right? And then make sure it's cooked, right? Chicken's one of those you got to make sure it's cooked. So be aware of that, all right? So there's that. So, but again, back to storage. So there is a shortage of chickens because of the avian flu. With that, of course, prices of eggs goes up. Price of wheat is obviously up because of shortage there, because of Ukraine and Russia situation, because evidently they're a huge exporter of wheat. I always say you don't have to depend on wheat to stay alive. We're not back in the days of the 30s where we're like, bread, please, right? But if you're in that situation, of course, that your friends and our family know, maybe they could pitch in a little bit of helping, right? I mean, people do crowdfunding, right, for projects and stuff. Do a little bit of crowdfunding for yourself. Never starve yourself because you have no food. Now, I will say this, for those that don't have, in the days ahead in certain areas where you're trying to cut down, people always say beans and rice. I say oatmeal. Do oatmeal, right? Oatmeal is good. It's self-sustaining. And shakes. Shakes are really good, by the way. They're good for losing weight, obviously. And then get a good protein shake that will keep you good all throughout the day. But have it maybe 2 or 3 times a day, right? And you do that, and then that's all you have. You mix it with water, boom, you're done. And that's a set amount of, honestly, all the stuff that you need. Get a good protein powder. Maybe go to GNC or I think Earth. What was that? Earth Supply. Yeah. But get a good one that you could depend on that tastes good, that you're going to love for days. Don't get one that tastes nasty. Okay, those are not good. But do that. I know I've had to do that on occasion. And when I do that, A, I slim down, so it's a blessing. And B, when I do finally eat, big, then I eat like something good, maybe steak. I'm a steak guy, I'm not gonna lie. And then I'll do that maybe like once every 3 weeks or so, right? But every night gets a little expensive, and then that kind of gets in your pocketbook. And then when you're kind of supporting your family and you're trying to take care of everyone, and the prices are sky high, of course you got to learn to just do with little. And sometimes it's hard, not gonna lie, but sometimes you just gotta kind of buckle down. And when you buckle down, then everything's a little bit better with yourself. Certain places are closing. I'm looking at a post right here. Whole Foods closing 6 stores nationwide, including Massachusetts location. I love Whole Foods, not gonna lie, but again, price is expensive and people do not want to spend that much. So again, be aware of it, be ahead of it, and then save your money. All right, now having said that, there's a lot of things that we need to always be careful of. I always talk about this. I talk about, again, family. Family is always important, and when your family is kind of suffering, you want to be aware of it, okay? Now, this situation with Winona Judd, and of course Ashley Judd, very important to always remember there are things that happen behind the scenes we're sometimes just unaware of, right? And I will say there was a statement that the family made, and some are alluding to a little bit of mental illness, but also, again, her book that she had may have been a way of saying, hey, by the way, I've moved past it, but the question is, did something happen in the middle, right? I hope the answer is no. I'm going to look up some information right now because, again, I all I saw was honestly that she had passed away. I thought it was honestly of something physical. I didn't think of anything else other than that, so I'm going to look at some of the latest headlines here, and then we can figure that out along the way. Again, dead at 76, and I've been a big proponent of talking about again depression, suicide, because we've all been there. And when we're there, sometimes we need to be aware that, of course, people love us, and of course we can survive it, and we can go next level. I've had a series of speaking engagements about that subject, including in high school, where I found out there were 3 suicides before I got there. So I always say, look, be aware that it happens, be aware that people are suffering, and be aware that at the end of the day, you need to be aware when your family are kind of, honestly, needing you. Right, or needing your help, because then at least you'll understand what they need and why they need it. Right. Let's see. So I'm looking at this. Let's see. Yep, here it is. Okay. Oh, I got. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, poor things. Naomi Judd's daughters broke down at the Country Music Hall of Fame induction. That's what happened recently, too. Naomi Judd's daughters broke down in tears as they inducted their mother into the Country Music Hall of Fame Sunday. So their mother died on Saturday. Get that? I didn't know this happened this weekend. Oh, God, I'm seeing them cry. Oh, that's sad. Wynonna and Ashley Judd appeared on stage at the award show in Nashville just one day after their mother died because the Judds, Naomi and Wynonna's mom and daughter, music duo, had been added to the prestigious list. A teary-eyed Ashley said to the audience, "Oh, this is terrible," the day after. Oh, it's got to be difficult. She said, "My mama loved you so much, and I'm sorry that she couldn't hang on until today. Your esteem for her and your regard for her really penetrated her heart," she added, "and it was your affection for her that did keep her going in the last years." Oh. And then, of course, she had that. And then Wynonna said that she had not prepared a speech because she assumed Mama would be doing all the talking. Ashley, 54, Wynonna, 57, announced that they had lost their mother due to the disease of mental illness. That was the statement that they made. And then they said in a joint statement, oh, God, I don't even want to show this, but I'm going to have to. This is the thing that, again, when you're in this situation, you ask yourself what happened, right? And you ask what next. So this was the scene as of and I didn't see this. I just saw this, as many of you do on Facebook. This was the scene just yesterday. So they said in a joint statement, "We are shattered. We're navigating profound grief, and know that as we loved her, she was loved by our public. We are in unknown territory." Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Naomi revealed in 2016 that she had battled severe depression and anxiety since she and Wynonna stopped touring as the Judds in 2011. Oh, that makes sense. That was kind of her everything. There was their time to really do what they love. Yeah, that's sad. She said, "Fans see me in rhinestones, with glitter in my hair. That really is who I am. But then I would come home and not leave the house for 3 weeks and not get out of my pajamas and not practice normal hygiene. It was really bad." Naomi penned a book titled River of Time, My Descent into Depression, How I Emerged with Hope that same year, and explained that she went public with her diagnosis. She was eventually treated with drugs and electroshock therapy because she wanted people to know mental illness is not a character flaw. It's a stinking disease. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was... I thought it was just... I really still don't know. I don't know the situation, but the family is definitely suffering because of it. So I know a lot of people always have questions. What do you do next? And when they leave you, you really don't know what to do. So appreciate them while they're there, right? Yeah. Always have them in your hearts. No, people suffer, but when they suffer, sometimes they do so quietly. Make it a great day, everyone. Bye.